Well, hi everyone. Today I want to talk about a statement that has been doing the rounds on Twitter this week about if we start ordaining women pastors and let women preach, then that particular movement will be liberalised within a generation, or their theology will dramatically deteriorate within a generation. And now this is generally being pushed by people who are very much like, women shouldn't be pastors, women shouldn't preach, that kind of thing. And we can discuss the theology around that and some biblical passages around that in a later video. But I just want to address this idea for a moment. And the problem with this idea that a whole movement will be liberalised or go downhill or whatever it is it's just not grounded in historical reality. Now, my context is I'm an Australian Pentecostal, right? And we have over 100 years of history now of Pentecostalism in Australia. And the first Pentecostal church in Australia was started by a woman in 1908, Sarah Jane Lancaster, the Good News Hall in North Melbourne. Right, and she led that for many, many years. And in fact, in a lot of Pentecostal movements and circles in Australia up until World War II, approximately half of the senior pastors were women. Now, take another movement, for example, the Salvation Army. They've been around since 1865, and from the very beginning, they were ordaining women and were allowing women to preach. In fact, disclaimer, my Nan and Pop were Salvation Army officers for over 40 years of their life, and Nan, when she was 17 in a Presbyterian church, felt the call of God to actually go be a missionary when she heard a message about Jesus feeding the 5,000, and he didn't just feed the front rows, he went right to the back rows, and she went, you know what, God, I think you're calling me to be a missionary. And she went and found a movement, a denomination that would actually let her preach, and they went to Papua New Guinea, and from all reports I heard, she was actually a significantly better preacher than my Pop. I can go through time and time different movements and different, especially in the Pentecostal world, Salvation Army world, all around the world where we've had women ministering for a long time, women pastors, women preachers, and it's time and time again has shown fruit. Was the theology always perfect or always rock solid? Well, no one's is. But look, we've got a long history of this. And in fact, in Australia, in the last 50 years or so, a lot of Pentecostal movements have still been the fastest growing movements in our country, and they've had women pastors this whole time. So the idea that a movement is going to fall apart or liberalise or deteriorate is absolutely nonsensical, and it's not historically grounded. I hope that helps. We'll talk to you soon.